Avengers. Doomsday may force Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man to fight the X-Men for the worst possible reason. If his world survives, theirs may be destroyed. A growing rumor claims the movie opens with an incursion, turning Peter Parker and Marvel's mutants into enemies and making Tobey the conflict's first major loss. But Marvel has confirmed none of this, and one established MCU rule may disprove the entire theory. Why would the X-Men attack Spider-Man? How could Dr. Doom benefit? And would Peter's death actually save anyone? Watch until the end, because the apparent answer may be exactly what Doom needs everyone to believe. Before we move ahead, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like the video, subscribe to channel, and share it with a friend who enjoys this kind of content. Also, comment below and tell me your favorite part of the video so far. First, we must separate confirmed information from speculation. Marvel's announced Avengers Doomsday cast includes legacy X-Men actors such as Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, James Marsden, Romijn, Alan Cumming, and Kelsey Grammer. Tobey Maguire was not included. Marvel could still be protecting a surprise appearance, but there is currently no official announcement, verified footage, or reliable entertainment report confirming Tobey's return. The rumor claims Doomsday begins during an incursion between Tobey's Spider-Man universe and the reality occupied by the legacy X-Men. Both sides supposedly believe their world can survive only if the opposing Earth is destroyed. Peter therefore fights the X-Men while trying to protect everyone in his New York. Some versions claim Peter becomes the opening battle's first major loss. Others say he survives, is taken by Doom, or continues into Secret Wars. Those contradictions matter. This is not a verified plot description. It is an unconfirmed rumor surrounded by several competing theories. What makes the basic conflict plausible is the multiverse rule Marvel has already established. Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness, explains that interference between alternate realities can destabilize their boundaries and cause an incursion. Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars comics develop this into an impossible choice. When two Earths collide, both universes may be destroyed unless one Earth is removed first. That could turn Spider-Man and the X-Men into enemies without making either side evil. Peter would be protecting MJ and every innocent person in his universe. Cyclops, Professor X, and Magneto would be protecting their own people. Each side could believe that refusing to fight would condemn billions of lives. Dr. Doom would not need to control their minds. He would only need to convince both sides that compassion for the other world means losing their own. This leads to the anchor being theory. Deadpool and Wolverine establishes that an anchor being is someone whose death begins the gradual deterioration of their timeline. Wolverine is identified as the vital figure connected to the Fox universe. Some theorists therefore believe Tobey's Peter could be the anchor being of the Raimi universe. If the X-Men discovered this, they might believe removing Peter would eliminate the competing reality and protect their world. But that is where the theory begins to fall apart. The MCU has never identified Tobey's Spider-Man as an anchor being. More importantly, an anchor being's death does not instantly erase that universe. It begins a slow process of deterioration. Removing Peter might damage his timeline, but nothing established in the MCU proves that it would resolve an active incursion or save the X-Men. Unless Doomsday introduces a new rule, killing an anchor being is not a confirmed solution. It could instead be false information deliberately given to the heroes by Doom. The stronger reason for choosing Tobey is emotional. His Spider-Man began his journey before the MCU existed, making him the face of an entire generation of Marvel movies. No Way Home returned to him as an older Peter who had found some stability with MJ. He entered another universe to guide Tom Holland's Peter away from vengeance, completed that mission, and returned home. Making Tobey Doomsday's first major loss would immediately prove that this conflict can erase the characters and worlds audiences believed were protected by nostalgia. But it would also be risky. If Peter returned only to disappear during an opening fight, shock value could replace the meaningful closure No Way Home gave him. Even an apparent death would not necessarily be permanent. In the 2015 Secret Wars comic, the multiverse collapses before Doom rules Battleworld, a patchwork reality created from surviving fragments. Reality is eventually rebuilt. The MCU may adapt that story differently, but Tobey's apparent loss in Doomsday could become a bridge into Secret Wars rather than the permanent conclusion of his journey. That remains a possibility, not verified information. Now the deeper meaning begins. Tobey's Peter is perfectly suited to an incursion story because his journey has always been about responsibility without reward. In the first Spider-Man, he gives up the relationship he wants because remaining close to MJ could endanger her. In Spider-Man 2, he tries to escape the burden of being Spider-Man, then accepts it again when other lives depend on him. In Spider-Man 3, he releases his need for revenge. And in No Way Home, he prevents another Peter from allowing grief to decide who he becomes. That pattern reveals how he would respond if an incursion placed two universes against each other. Peter would not begin by deciding which population deserved to disappear. He would search for another answer, even if the greatest cost fell on him. His sacrifice would only feel truthful if it came from rejecting Doom's false choice, not from losing a random fight created for shock value. This is how fear turns good people against one another. Under extreme pressure, a false choice can begin to feel like a moral responsibility: protect your group, or show mercy and lose everyone. Doom's greatest weapon may therefore not be his armor, technology, or magic. It may be his ability to control the question until every possible answer serves his plan. Tobey Maguire is not confirmed for Avengers Doomsday. His death is not confirmed, and his battle with the X-Men remains a rumor. But the theory reveals the conflict Doom could create. The most dangerous villain does not need to defeat the heroes himself. He only needs to convince them that destroying one another is the responsible thing to do. That is the unseen pattern.